I'm Dan Hoard at beautiful Nippert Stadium. Our coverage of Bearcats training camp continues now with head coach Tommy Tuberville. You held your second scrimmage tonight, kind of a passing scrimmage. What were your initial impressions?
Well, we went a long time. We got almost 140 plays, and normally scrimmages are this early or late in two-a-days is around 100. But we needed to work. We worked three groups. We didn't tackle our running backs, but we went full speed everywhere else, and I thought that our passing game looked pretty good. Gunner was sick the last first part of this week, got stomach virus, and he didn't look very good because he just couldn't keep anything down. But he practiced. I mean, he pushed through it, and he didn't make any improvement. But it was a good chance for us to look at Hayden Moore. We've got to have a backup quarterback, and Hayden really is a guy that's come on and made a lot of improvement and has worked well with the receivers. Gunner the last 2 or 3 days, though, after getting over the virus, has really looked good, throwing the ball well, throwing sharp. I think it helped him, simple fact he got his arm back a little bit and got more throwing the ball. But both quarterbacks looking good, passing game's looking good. We got a lot of things to work on, but on the offensive side of the ball, we look pretty sharp at times, a little bit inconsistent, making a few mistakes, but that only is going to come when you start playing football in real games.
You mentioned your number 2 quarterback, Hayden Moore. He threw 2 long touchdown passes to Johnny Holton, who really stood out tonight.
I tell you, Johnny keeps amazing me how, he looks like, he's not even going to be around the ball. He's so fast. I mean, here's a kid that runs a 10-400 meters, and he can really fly. It doesn't look like he's running that fast, but as these cornerbacks, they have to get out of their back pedal real quick against him. We're going to be able to watch him next few years on the next level, but he has got so much acceleration, and he's starting to catch the ball a lot better with his hands in a crowd, and he didn't do that much last year, but he's growing up, and it's good that Johnny's getting all these reps in the scrimmage like this because he needs every game that he's played in last year. He got better, and every scrimmage he gets better.
You finished your 2 weeks at Camp Higher Ground. What was your biggest takeaway from that period? Where did the team get better?
Well, number one, you got to come together as a team, as kind of a family, and that's what Higher Ground does. It puts you together for 2 weeks, and you got no chance to run from anybody. You can't hide. Everybody's on top of each other for 2 weeks, and it's a good team building situation. And I think that was one thing we needed to do. We've got a lot of young guys that's going to have to play. They had to be around the older guys. But what I watched and what everybody knows that we got to improve on overall for the extended all the season is our defense. We got to get better. And I watched a lot of the young guys that's going to have to play. We've got more athletes on defense. We're going to have more depth. We're going to have more speed. Now we're going to be able to make plays. Again, we didn't tackle much out here tonight. Tackling is an art, but it happens when you have athletes that get involved in playing defense. And as I said, we've got a lot more athletes, and a lot of guys are going to have to grow up. We're not going to be as good at defense the first few games as we're going to be at the end of the year, but it just depends on how we grow up and how fast we grow up, how this season is going to go defensively.
We're doing this interview on a Friday night. 2 weeks from tomorrow, you open the season right here against Alabama A&M. What do you have to get done between now and then?
Well, number one, I hope the weather's like it is right now. It's got to be 72 degrees. It's beautiful weather, just a touch of breeze. And as you and I sat here in the stadium, it's just amazing how pretty this thing is. I'm really anxious to see, what it looks like when we fill this thing up and how noisy it's going to be. I think it's really, truly going to be a home field advantage for us. And our guys are excited. We flipped our uniforms. Offense wore the different uniform that this tonight than they wore last week, and defense did the same thing. They look great. It's great to have Under Armour aboard as we go through this opening up of Nippert Stadium. I'm anxious for all the fans to see it, and as you said, 2 weeks from tonight, if we have this kind of weather, they'll be stacked in there like cordwood.
Nice Under Armour hat, by the way.
Yeah, it's a nice hat. Got my foundation on the side of it, but it's great to be with Under Armour. I tell you, I've been with them for so long. I can tell you, how much better their equipment has gotten. You struggle when you open up a company like Kevin Plank did 15 years ago, but I tell you, they're second to none with the quality of the outfits that we wear now. The shoes are just outstanding. Our players, they rave about them, which we're excited. But the look is great. It's a real classic look for the game uniforms, and looking forward to seeing what our people think about them when we come and play the first home game in 2 weeks.
All right, for Coach Tuberville, I'm Dan Hoard. Thanks for checking out this training camp report here on Bearcats TV.